Welcome to Wisdom Heart. It's Nano Teaching time. Be that radiance. Walk through the dark and uncertain times as a beacon of hope, as a presence of healing, as a student of life. For we have entered into our life and into our life situation to learn that we can awaken through joy, through laughter, through creativity, and that we do not have to take the path of struggle, of suffering, and of sorrow. But to do so, we need to remember. We need to remember this in each present moment. And this is why the Ishaya Upanishad has pointed out the importance of remembrance, the importance of reawakening the soul. For the soul is the memory track of your spirit. The soul is the memory track of your spirit. The spirit is the ever-present, all-pervading radiance. That is both transcendent and immanent in time, moving through time. And as that movement through time, it creates a memory track. And that is known as the soul. Within that soul, there is the memory track, the remembrance of who you are as the eternal, ever-present radiance, the generative power of existence. But that, as it says, can become obscured when our attention fragments and when the mind is caught in conditioning. And so we learn to practice meditation, to turn inward, balance, and ascend back to the sun center. You can see my hands are blue. I'm not turning into Krishna that I'm aware of, but it's really the blue of dye. I've been doing a dye project with Davy. We've been dyeing some things dark blue. And in the ancient days, one of the images that described the nature of the conditioned mind, the nature of the untrained mind, was like fabric being dipped into vats of dye. When a white fabric was dipped into the blue dye, it comes out blue. When the white fabric is dipped into the red dye, it comes out red. And they would say, when the untrained mind is immersed into a situation of anger and of violence, it becomes and identifies with that anger and violence. When the untrained mind is dipped into the vat of dye of fear, the untrained mind identifies with and becomes fear. And so we want to wash away, as it were, become liberated from those patternings. They would say, cleanse it and return it back to its own original nature. And we do this through meditation, through interning, balancing, and ascending. It's not enough to intern. Meditation is not simply going in to ourselves. It is also balancing and ascending. Balancing and ascending, that we might move beyond the cultural view and return to the ultimate view, the view of communion that arises and is available at the sun center. This is what liberates and reveals the memory tracks of the soul, and we remember the truth of our being. That remembrance comes for most as a subtle feeling of peace, of inherent well-being, of deep, deep love. Whatever our imbalance may be, whatever our memory track of incompleteness may be, returning to that point of communion heals that incompleteness, heals that wound, fulfills that imbalance. If there is a longing for love, then the communion and the radiance arises as love. If it's a sense of ignorance, it comes as wisdom. If it's sorrow, then joy is fulfilled. And the text ends this section by saying, therefore, the kriya of life is to realize, embody, and express the radiance in thought, speech, and action. The kriya of life is to be who you are, the Atma, or that radiant self. To learn more about these teachings, please visit us at wisdomheart.com and receive 2 free gifts just for visiting.